everyone, I'm JD from Willow Bound Journals. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to share how I store all of my craft supplies and hopefully give you some ideas of things you can use. I've got a whole different bunch of things that I use now. I used to use just the basket method and some boxes as well, but I've kind of branched out a little bit and found some other containers and holders and things. So I'll just give you an updated look at how I store my supplies. So yeah, first of all, the baskets. You guys have probably seen this. I love using my baskets because they can stack. So when I put them on the shelf, they're all nice and compact and together. So I'll just move this one out the way first so I can show you in frame. Okay, maybe we'll do this one by one. I don't have a very big filming space, so let's show you this basket first. Okay, so like I've got my stamp tags in this basket. I've got vintage tea cards in this one. Then I've got my clusters in this one. And I also have some journal cards in the bottom one. So depending on how much you put in them, you can stack them so high and fit them onto your shelves. I can fit 4 onto my shelf with this much in them. Let me put that back on my shelf. And then I've got a whole bunch of different size baskets. So this is the next size up. I've got smaller ones, I've got bigger ones. Here's a medium size one, and this is how I store my tags. So I've got a question about this, how I store my tags, and I just, you know, slot them all in here, all my different ones, and I categorize them so all the wallpaper ones are next to each other, all of the music paper ones, and then I've got all my collaged French ones at the front, and some bases to make some more. So that's how I store my tags. And then how I store my little bits of ephemera. I've got a few different ways, but this is the most recent way I've discovered. I love these. These are stackable, so I love stackable, right? And they come in different sizes, and you can see that it's not very tall. So if I stack 2 of those together, it's the same height as one of these. So that's flat like that. And I just put my stickers in here. I got some of my other tags in this one. I put those all together because I'm working on a Secret Garden journal collection, so I want all those together. I've got my stamps in this set, so this one comes off like that. And all of this that I've shown you so far, the baskets and these containers, these came from Prices Plus, just the local cheap shop where I am here. It's got some label stickers there, just some little bits of ephemera in here and here. I can fill this one up. And I got 2 of those for some more ephemera here. So I've got bits and pieces here and labels and words, stickers, these wax seal stickers, excuse me. So I just stack these all up like this, and works for really small things like that, and having your stickers on hand. So I could even go one higher layer if I wanted. Okay, let me see if I can get those to stack. There we go. So that's that one. This is how I'm now storing my washi tape. This isn't going to work for everyone depending on how many washi tapes you have, but I don't really have that many. So I just managed to fit it in this box here. And so I've got all my cat ones in this little section here. And then I've got my wide ones. These are from Washi Wednesday. These ones are from In Love Art Shop, Ballet One, Jules. Excuse me, and some of these I was gifted as well from the lovely Karen, and thank you so much, Karen. And this box, I mean, you could make one yourself or find one out there, but I actually made this back when I was in high school at a after school program. They ran some activities, and so I got to make one of these boxes, and I have a second one as well that holds my stamps and my inks. So that's cool. I love having this handy just to sit on your desk, and you can see everything. Everything's ordered and it looks pretty. So that's that one. Next, this is my favorite one. This is my vintage ephemera holder. So we've got a drawer here, and I found this at an antique place. So you might want to go op shopping and see what you can find. Actually, okay, that's what it looks like from the top, but you can't see anything from the top, so we'll keep it maybe angled. So I've got my playing cards and swap cards there, tally cards, game cards, bridge cards there. Oh, everything's moved over a little bit. Okay, not all of it is vintage, but just some pretty things. There's vintage buttons, vintage tea cards, my vintage postcards are here. These are vintage French seed packets. I've got vintage French vocabulary cards and vintage library cards. I've got a bunch of guest checks, vintage grammar book, receipt book. These are some vintage envelopes and just some other vintage receipts and papers at the back there. Where I get them from, okay, so op shops, vintage places, Etsy, eBay is where I get all of this from, if you're wondering as well. All right, how I store my envelopes and cards is in a shoebox. So that's another idea, shoebox. This one's really cool. It's covered in craft paper type thing. And I also store my flashcards in here. So I kind of section it off. I use other little boxes to section things off. So here was a box of cards, and I just put in my flashcards and playing cards and different bits and pieces. I've also got a few other little tags in here. The ones that I haven't made go in here. All the different types of tags go in there. We've got some coffee dyed envelopes, these window envelopes, we've got some seed packet envelopes, we've got some vintage style envelopes, and then just other bits and pieces I've actually put in here just to fill up the space. Excuse me, I'm just clearing my throat all the time, but anyway, got my cards here and some more kind of novelty type of envelopes at the back. So that's how I do that one. So kind of cards, envelopes, miscellaneous, all in one in a shoebox. Let's put that over here. Now, I also have just a plain normal box just from the cheap shop again, and this is how I store my napkin envelopes. I've gotten rid of a lot of my napkin envelopes because I'm packing up and moving, so I've only got that many napkin envelopes left. It used to be the whole thing. So what I did is I got some more of those clear containers and I just sectioned them off. So these are my pockets, envelope pockets, piano paper pockets, music paper pockets. And in this one, I have my wallpaper pockets. So that's nice. It's kind of like my pocket box. I also, oh, sorry for bumping you. Oh my gosh, I hope you are still in frame. I have more of these. I just love these containers. They're a recent addition to my collection. And I put my printed journal cards and sewn journal cards. These are the vintage postcards. But anything, my artwork, those cards, other cards, that's how I store these ones because it's a nice size for that. I also use these kind of baskets, so this kind of size. I've got a few of this kind of basket to store my fabrics, trims, linens, doilies, ribbons, sari silk, seam bindings. So I've got one for fabrics, one for lace, one for ribbons, one for doilies, that kind of thing. So that's how I store those. Because I find the deeper basket is kind of nicer to store them. And I just fold them up and put them in here like that. So the only last one that I've got to share, oh wait, hang on. Before I do the last one, this one here is a little set of drawers, which is really fun. And I put all my little trinkets and bits and pieces in here. That's got the key charms, and this has my eyelets. So I would get more of these if I could, but because I haven't found any more of these so far, I also have this. Actually, there's a few others I've got to share with you, but anyway, this one keeps all my charms and bits and bobs pretty much. And I have maybe 5, 6 other containers like this, just different sizes. One for buttons, one for beads, one for bulb pins, one for charms. Yeah, that kind of thing. So this one's got a mix of everything because it's a bit bigger. And then the other smaller ones, there's one for buttons, one for charms, that kind of thing. So that's how I store these ones. And then, of course, my pens and stationery, I like to use mugs. So I've got my Keanu mug. So I like to choose mugs that are significant to me, not just any old mug, but something that speaks to me and is meaningful. So this is my little Keanu mug. It's just a black cat that reminds me of Keanu. And these are the things I use all the time. So my scissors, my pens, those are the ones I use all the time. Whereas this mug here, this is my Psychology in Seattle mug. Love it. I'm a lifelong patron of theirs, and at one of the tier levels I got this mug. This one holds more my decorative coloured, what are they called? Pens. Pens. And then I have one last one here, which has just miscellaneous highlighters, scissors, other miscellaneous things, hole punch, my Apple iPad pencil. So that's just another bucket thing, but I'll probably replace that with a mug. If I can find a third meaningful mug, I would replace that. And then I think now finally I'm on to the last thing to share with you, how I store things. If you want to know how I store papers, I have 3 methods of storing papers. One, they're too big, sorry, to bring over, but one is an A3 scrapbooking, no, not A3, it's a scrapbooking 12 by 12 size container. So that's how I keep my scrapbooking papers. For my A4 size papers, I have a set of trays, a stackable set of 5 trays, and I slot in the papers into those 5 trays. And the other paper method, storage method I have is a rack that sits on top of my desk. Well, it's actually on top of my drawers at the moment, and it has folders, so I'll just show you. It has manila folders, and I've got a different colour for each slot in the rack, and there's nothing in this in the moment, but this is how I organise my papers in themes. So if I've got dragonfly papers, I put them in here. If I've got butterfly papers, I put them in another folder. If I've got garden papers, I put them in another file folder, and it all goes in that stacking rack. Whereas the stackable trays, I put in wallpaper on the bottom pocket, doilies on the second bottom pocket, vellum on the next pocket, not pocket, tray, and ledger paper on the next tray, that kind of thing. Okay, so then this one's the last one I want to show you, and this is a nightmare. Look at this, this is a mess. It's not organised at all. But this is how I store my personal ephemera that I want to put into my own journals, or things that I accumulate from my day-to-day life, everyday ephemera. And I just have this on my desk, and anytime I pick up something that I think is pretty, I just put it in here, and it becomes a mess. So actually, in the next video, I will film it straight away, but I'm not sure if it'll come out right after this one. I'm not sure of the order, but I'm going to film me organising this, taking everything out and organising it, decluttering it, so that I can actually put them into my journal. What happens usually is I'll go through it every now and then, and if I haven't used a piece after a certain amount of months or time, then I will turf it, or I'll put it into another journal, or give it in some happy mail or something. But most of this I'm trying to put into my own journal when I come to journaling, so that's all on hand. I don't have to rummage through my supplies. I just have this one thing that I can use to add to my journals. So that really helps me, because before, when everything was everywhere, I just wouldn't use anything. So if I have one spot for my own journaling, it's just so much easier to draw on. But at the moment I'm not even looking at it because it's a nightmare. So I need to really organize this. So I will do that in the next video, and shall be fun. So I hope that gave you some ideas. I tried to, we'll leave that. I hope that gave you some, oh wait, let me give you some other storage ideas while I'm here. So I also use folders. So this is another way I either use this for journals that I make or for my own journaling. So this one's pretty much got doilies in it, and I can either use that for my own journaling or for other journals. And then I also have a bigger one. So I like these folders. These come from Officeworks. So this is a small one, this is the bigger one, and this is where I put my printables. So if you're wondering where I keep my printables, they go in here. So yeah, and if I have other things that I print out to put in my journals, like photos, they will go in there. So again, I'll just do one more scan around my room. Every time I scan my room, I find something else that I can show you how I store things. But of course, I've got other things, like my desk has some drawers and I put things in those drawers. I just have a set of shelves and all my baskets and things go on those shelves. And I also have a Raskog trolley, and I think you all know what a Raskog trolley is, or a lot of you do, from IKEA. And I love my Raskog trolley. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just having a quick look around, see if there's anything else, but I think I've hopefully covered everything. I do have some other tubs, sorry, like bigger A4 tubs, and that's what I keep my coffee dye paper in, my coloured paper, and my white paper. So if I've got lots, you know, a whole ream, then I just chuck it into a tub-sized basket, and they sit on my floor. And they can stack as well. So, but if you have any questions, or I didn't cover anything, just let me know. Hopefully I tried to cover everything, like envelopes, tags, pockets, ephemera, papers, pens. Hopefully I got around to everything, charms and all that kind of stuff, and maybe gave you some ideas and some different ways to do things. And if you have your own ideas or suggestions, chuck them down in the comments below. It might help someone out. And let me know how you store things, yeah. And I hope this was a fun video. I love storage and organization, so this is right up my alley, and I try to do an update every year of a craft room tour and an update video of how I store things, because I'm always looking for storage solutions. And it's kind of funny because I like stationery and I like art supplies, but I also love the organizers and the storage containers as well. So just for me, pairing them together is like heaven. Going into a stationery shop or an organization shop or storage shop for me is just a bit like heaven, and I have to restrain myself from buying everything. So yeah, if you're anything like me, let me know in the comments. If you're a storage freak as well, let me know and we can chat storage together. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope this was helpful. Let me know if it was. And just remember, you guys are all beautiful gems. You are gifts to the world. Just by being here, you bring light and beauty and goodness to those around you. So be you, shine bright, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.